What is up, 2K crew? And yes, it is. Totally forgot my train of thought. It is podcast day, and I've got a hell of a show planned for you guys. You might notice that you're just getting me. Well, I just want to give a big shout out to Mrs. 2K. She's feeling under the weather, and 2K is helping her out and the kids, so he's doing his familial duty. But don't worry. We're still gonna have great ass content and a badass show coming to you with my broke ass microphone right now. So we'll just leave it like that for right now, and I'll fix it later. But yes, we are talking March Madness. We are talking hoops. We are talking conference title tournaments. So get locked in, everybody, because this is the Turbo and 2K show.
It's the Turbo and 2K show.
All right, so yeah, like I said, this is going to be a big show, and as you can probably know, probably just put two and two together that we are going to be talking about this again next week because yes, today is Selection Sunday where they're going to put everyone in a bracket. I'm sure there's going to be massive talks about bubble teams, who's left out, who snuck in, all of that good jazz, and we will get to that next week. And of course, March Madness starts on Thursday, well probably Wednesday, but Thursday. So let's jump into it. And yeah, like I said, I've got a hell of a show for you. But before we do that, let's jump into the box score here. And the box score is yes, yes. If you're on the audio side, go ahead and subscribe. And I guess they're calling it follow now as opposed to subscribe because everyone thinks subscriptions have some sort of monetary value to them, or you have to pay to be a sub to be a sub. But when it comes to podcasts, ladies and gentlemen, it's absolutely free. It's absolutely free. So it's just a connotation. So follow the Turbo and 2K show wherever you get your audio podcast. And if you're on the YouTubes, don't forget to. I actually have a fancy graphic here, so hold on. Where the hell did it go? Okay, maybe I didn't. All right. Well, let's do. Yeah, if you guys do want to, obviously like, subscribe, post a comment because I can pull the comments on the show and I can answer your questions and feature you on the show, which I always like to do. And because you're our loyal 2K crew, and I do have a pinned comment here on the YouTubes where if you do want to join the Facebook group for the 2K crew, which that's where all the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen. That's where all the magic happens. So go ahead and click it. Okay, so I'll just do it right now. There's the click the link. So hop in and let's get going. Let's get going. And I'm actually bummed. There it is. There it is. Yeah, let's see if it plays. Yes, and it's very choppy, so I do need to clean my Mac up. So we'll get to that one next week. But yes, let's start off with probably there it is. Let's jump off into it and now of course there we go. Now hopefully everything's back on track. Yeah, like I said, I'll clean my MacBook up so you guys can see the cool ass graphic that I just did. So, anyways, yeah, the Big Ten is kind of a toss up now. We've been 2Ks and I have been pounding this home, so it's really not going to be a surprise to anyone that follows us. But yes, obviously the Big Ten is the best conference in the nation, and there is a huge blow to the University of Michigan when Isaiah Livers goes out with a stress fracture and is in a boot. And with a player of his caliber, yes, it did come into play last night when they were playing Ohio State, and Ohio State squeaked out a 1-point victory. With Livers, do I think that they win that? Yes, I do. But man, Illinois is rolling in the Big Ten, and so obviously we're live right now. It's 1 p.m. Eastern. Later tonight, the Big Ten title game is going to go down. Ohio State and Illinois, if memory does serve me correct. And that's going to be one hell of a show. It's going to be one hell of a game. And knockdown, drag out, just like every other Big Ten. Pretty much, there's only been a couple of blowouts, I guess you could say, in the whole tournament. So it's going to be close. It's going to be an awesome game. And then after that game, obviously, Selection Sunday comes out, and they're going to put everyone in the bracket. So very exciting day. And unfortunately, I wish I could come. I guess I could have. I didn't realize I was going to be going solo today, which is fine. I could have scheduled the stream during Selection Sunday, which would have been really cool. But coming to you early, and like I said, next week we'll get into all of that and the first couple rounds of the tournament. So it is exciting. It is exciting. And for all of you that are watching live, feel free to drop a comment. Like I said, I'll feature you on the show. And question of the day: how are you going to consume your NCAA tournament? How are you going to do it? For years, I've told myself that I'm going to take Thursday and Friday off, the first Thursday and Friday of the tournament off, and I finally did it. Where I work, I got an extra week of vacation for this year, so I said, why the hell not? Why the hell not? Let's do this. I've always something I always wanted to do. So, yes, I will be eating chicken wings and watching NCAA basketball Thursday and Friday, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I've got everything kind of in my brain how I'm gonna do it. Got the TV, got another TV, I got my laptop, got my iPad. I'm gonna be watching all 4 games at once, and I'm gonna be super fucking stoked because why? Like I said, this has always been kind of something. I guess it's kind of a weird bucket list item, but it is what it is. It's my fucking bucket. I'm gonna put whatever bucket list items I want into it, and yes, I'm gonna be checking off that box this week. Super excited. So, excuse me. So yeah, the Big Ten. I guess that is. It really should be no surprise that these games are coming down to the wire. A lot of them in overtime. Huge, tip to from tip to final horn. They've all been amazing. This is kind of the part where I wanted 2Ks to be here because he is my Big Ten expert. I kind of dabble in the Big Ten, and if you followed us for any amount of time, I've thrown my hat into that Michigan bandwagon. So I'm hoping that this Isaiah Livers injury doesn't derail things too bad, because it would be a shame because they've played so well. They've been dominant. Yes, they've had their couple hiccups here and there, but it is what it is, and I think they would make a very, very deep run with Livers. So let's see how they and. It's now where Illinois has bumped up to that 3 seed, or the number 3 seed overall in the country. Michigan has dropped to number 4, so it's gonna come down to where they put Michigan in the brackets. Are they in the bracket of death? Do they have the smooth road? Who knows? That's what we're all gonna find out this weekend, or actually later tonight. So, and before I jump into a lot of other things, there were some kind of heartbreaking situations where. Obviously Duke had to pull out of the tournament. Virginia had to pull out of the tournament. There's been and it kind of pains me to say because I'm not a Duke fan. I do respect Coach K, but I am not a big Duke fan just because it seems like they win all the time. But I was kind of intrigued with this team because they caught fire at the right time, and to have they needed a deep run in the ACC tournament, if nothing else, to win it. And just to make the tournament. So this would be the first year since I don't know, that Coach K and Calipari will not be in the tournament. Coach Cal's team was not even close to being in the tournament. They had to win their conference title to get the at-large bid to even remotely come close to the tournament. So that one wasn't a shocker. But with Coach K in the Blue Devils, man, it is kind of disappointing because, like I said, they were on a fucking roll. They were on an absolute tear. Whatever Coach K figured out, 2Ks and I were talking about last week, these great coaches, yes, they have their system, but when their system isn't working for their players that they have on the roster, kind of have to make a change, and he did. I have to give it to him, and they caught fire at the right time. And yeah, it would have been cool to see how far they actually could have gone, and would they have actually made the tournament. And in my eyes, just with a team name like Duke, and if they did make a deep run into the ACC tournament, I have a feeling that the selection committee would have given Duke a nod, just because A, they're Duke, and B, they were, like I said, they were probably one of the better teams in the country. They caught fire at the right time and making a huge run. And like I said, Virginia, it's weird to say that the Virginia is the defending national champions, because we didn't have a tournament last year. I know it sucked. So yes, they probably had the longest run of any national title holder. So it's kind of a shame that they're out too. But with Virginia moving forward, they're going to be in the tournament field. We're just going to see where they end up landing, how the selection committee is going to handle the situation, because we're not going to say the word, because we keep saying that word and YouTube stops pushing our videos. So we're not going to say the word, but we all know what the word is. So we can talk about it secretly between me and you, but not on YouTube. So it's okay. It's okay. And right now I am watching VCU and St. Bonaventure in the, I don't even know what conference this is. The Atlantic 10, I apologize. And St. Bonaventure has been on quite the run. This is a team that I know very little about, but in the pregame they were talking about how St. Bonnie could make a very, very deep run into the March Madness. And I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I was putting together the show today, I'm like, where do I go with this? Where do I go with this? There's so many awesome storylines, and unfortunately with this week I didn't have a whole lot of time to prep for the show, so I apologize. I know I should be more professional when it comes to these, and you guys, because you guys deserve an awesome podcast, but life happens, and as you know, I'm getting married, so it's kind of taking up some of my time, as well as, you know, work is taking up some time, which got to pay those bills. And unfortunately, Barstool Sports or any of the other syndications have not picked your boys up yet. So, but yes, this is you kind of have to be Joe Lunardi to kind of have your finger on the pulse and know exactly what's happening with each and every one of these teams. And if you think about it, this is the only time of year that it seems like this dude works. Him and the Bryant Gumbel on CBS. Between this and the Masters, it seems like this is the only time we see Mr. Gumbel. So at least you got to give it up to Dickie V and some of the other guys, where we see them all throughout the year and all throughout college basketball, not just the tournaments. So they have plenty of time to prep their shows and get ready for everything. So, but yes, the one overlying thing while I was putting this together is, man, yes, we missed tournament last year. Yes, we all did. And the way it came down, it was kind of ripped away. And just the overall, just letdown. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to overanalyze everything. I'm not going to go deep diving. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy. Because, like I said, we didn't have it last year. And this field this year, I think, is going to be one of the most intriguing, upset bound, and no one really knows what the hell is going to happen. Joe Lunardi can sit there with his bracketology, and he can go through and do all of his stuff, and I really don't think anyone really knows. And I think that's going to be the exciting part of this tournament. So, and I know I am not 2Ks. A big shout out to 2Ks, and like I said, hopefully Mrs. 2Ks feels better. She did have her second shot, so she's feeling completely out of it and under the weather. But we give you a big shout out, Chell. We love you over here at the studio. So, and of course, 2Ks, we always miss you. It's a better show. I mean, obviously, no one really wants to look at my face for an hour or 45 minutes. I'd much rather enjoy both of us, I'm sure. But like we always say, we just rub some dirt on it and move on. We're not whiners. We keep on going and we keep the show moving. So, getting back to, you know, we've touched on the Big Ten. And since the Big Ten title game is happening here, I believe it's 6:00. Either that or the Selection Sunday starts at 6, I think. But yes, the Illinois-Ohio State matchup. I give me Illinois all day. They have been, as much as I've been on the Michigan bandwagon, man, Illinois team is tough. It's tough, and I think that a healthy Michigan team would be the only one to knock them off, to be honest with you. They match up extremely well. Their bigs are amazing. The guards can shoot the lights out. There's very few flaws in each one of these teams, so neither one turned the ball over a lot. And I just think that just the sheer size of Illinois is going to set the tone. And the only way Ohio State's going to have a chance in this is if they shoot the three at probably 40%, which is a very, very high percentage for 3-point shooting. But I think that's their only way that they're going to be the only way they're going to hang in this game, because that's the kind of the time old defense against a big guy is to shoot the lights out from behind the arc, because your bigs can't match up with theirs. And I think it's just a cut and dry, simple plan. So let's see who can shoot better, and if Illinois' bigs can just dominate, take over the game, take over the offensive glass, and just see how far they can put Ohio State in their blinders and behind them, because I really don't think it's going to be that close of a game. I think Illinois is going to run away with this. So, but let's move on to the Big 12. The Big 12, like 2Ks and I have said, is probably the second best conference in the country right now. And wow, Baylor gets knocked off. My number one team, my pick to win the bracket. And speaking of brackets, I do have the Turbo and 2K's bracket challenge up in the group, which is why I wanted to post the group, because there is a post in there. Comment on the post, and I'll direct message you my PayPal information and give you the password to get into the tournament challenge. And if you want to get on that, this is the ESPN Tournament Challenge app. And when you go to search for a group, search for Turbo and 2Ks, and you should find us. And like I said, $10 get you 3 brackets. And like I said, shoot, just write "I'm in" or more info or whatever you want on that post, and I will shoot you a direct message with my PayPal info. Like I said, $10 get you 3 brackets, or you could just send $10 and say, thank you, Turbo. I really don't want the ass beating in public, so here's my $10. Whichever you prefer. I will not. I'm not bashful when it comes to taking your money. And speaking of taking your money, if you go over to, if you want to support the show, aside from the bracket challenge, if you want to support the show, go to buyturboabeer.com, and that will direct you to my or the show's Buy Me a Coffee link, and you can buy us 1, 2, 3, or however many beers that you want, and any and all beers are appreciated. Are they mandatory? Absolutely not, because we'll still come with you with this fire-ass content. But if you are feeling saucy, and I am kind of thirsty, so if you do want to buy me a beer, that's where buyturbobeer.com. Like I said, any and all donations are much appreciated. And so, getting back to the Big 12, Baylor gets knocked off by our boy, Cade Cunningham. We've been talking about him for quite a while now. And, man, first of all, going through the Big 12 regular season, like we talked about, I don't think that I've seen any other team have as close of victories or as many overtime games. And for the vast majority of those games, the games came down to Mr. Cunningham having the ball in his hand as a freshman. As a freshman, ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind. As a freshman, game on the line, you give your stud freshman the keys to the car and say, you know what, drive us home. That's a lot. If you think about it, that's a lot for a 18-year-old kid to do. And on top of that, I don't know why I keep putting the top back on this. And on top of that, if you think about it, remember when you were a freshman in college? Most of us were trying to find our way on campus and trying not to screw up and trying to get good grades and making sure we do have some extracurricular time, I guess you could say, on the weekends or on the weeknights, because it's part of the college experience. But that's neither here nor there. But picture yourself as an 18-year-old freshman trying to win games, televised games, now mind you. Millions of people are watching these games. And when push comes to shove, he gets the ball in his hand, and he damn near won all of them. damn near won all of them. Excuse me. So what's really neat about this Oklahoma State team is, man, now it's not only him. The rest of the team has decided to, you know what? Cade doesn't need to do this all by himself. We're a supporting cast. We can help him out. And as soon as that supporting cast just said, you know what? Let's flip this switch and let's take some of this pressure off Cade and see what we can do. What it's boiled down to is no one wants to play Oklahoma State right now. They are so fucking hot. Yes, they end up losing to Texas in the Big 12 title game. Doesn't matter to me. Does not matter to me one iota. This team is going to make a huge, huge run in the tournament. Mark my words. And if you want any other bracket advice, you can add a couple more zeros to that bracket challenge. I'll be more than happy to give you my bracketology and help spread the wealth, and maybe you can dethrone me on these bracket challenges. But yes, and I'm almost positive that, of course, I guess it depends on who wins the lottery. But I think you are. There's no doubt in my mind you're looking at the overall number one pick in Cade Cunningham. Just his overall game. I mean, he's very polished. He can obviously shoot the three. He's got great handles. His defense is a little lacking, but really, let's be honest. Any of the top 10 lottery picks, I don't think a lot of them play a lot of defense to begin with. So that's really not a knock. But he's got the outside shot. He's got the mid-range shot. He's got the post-up moves. And dude's 6'9", I believe, 6'9" or 6'10". No, he's 6'8" or 6'9". And for someone to have that complete of a package, and yes, I'm talking about his package, but to have that complete of a game as a freshman. And if you think about it, just imagine if this kid would have committed to Duke or Kentucky, Michigan State, North Carolina, any of the other big teams that we talk about, any of the quote-unquote blue bloods. Just think about how much more attention this kid would have garnered. And why he chose Oklahoma State, I'm not really sure. But I'm glad he did. Because I love the storyline. I love rooting for someone that isn't normally rooted for. So obviously my Irish had no chance of making the tournament. So like I said, I've been on the Michigan bandwagon since Juwan Howard got there. And if you watch any college basketball on ESPN, it's hard not to watch Oklahoma State just because they're on all the time because of Cade. So let's see where Mr. Cunningham's choice of school is going to impact the recruiting classes of Oklahoma State, and we'll see how that goes going forward. But man, yes, he is. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I'm on his bandwagon. And yes, I can be on more than one bandwagon because it's my fucking rules. But does Baylor losing to Oklahoma State change my mind on how good Baylor is? No. Nope, I do not. I do not. Anyone's bound to have a bad game. And when Baylor, I mean, obviously with their, I'm not going to say the word, but you guys know the word, their situation, you know, they were on a stride and just taking care of business, and then that happened, which is kind of a shame because I have a feeling if that didn't happen, they're undefeated. They win the Big 12 title, and life is normal. Life is good if you're a Baylor Bear fan. And when it came to Michigan, when they had their situation, they kind of bounced back a little bit quicker. You know, they lost. They came back and won a game, and then lost a game, and then went on quite a tear until they ran into a buzzsaw and floundered towards the end of the year, whether that be fatigue. Obviously, Isaiah Livers was not all the way healthy, with that dog just stripped, and with the stress fracture in his leg. So I really don't think we're going to see him throughout this tournament. However, who knows? Who knows? If Michigan does make a deep run and they get into the Elite Eight, Final Four, I mean, we're looking at a couple weeks here. Maybe it changes. I don't know. So it's definitely something as a Michigan fan you want to keep an eye out for, just to see where everything happens. And I think, like I said, that kid is. It's kind of cool because he's a Kalamazoo kid, and it's always neat to see kids from our area go on to do great things, and it just kind of sucks because I really wanted him to go on to huge things when it comes to this tournament. All right, so we're about 25 minutes in, and we haven't even talked about the number one team in the country. Haven't even talked about them. And obviously Gonzaga won their conference title. Wasn't really even pushed. I think the closest game was 10 or 12 points. Does that go to show you how shitty their conference is, or is it how dominant they are as a team? And I think that is one of the biggest question marks going into this tournament is how are they going to fare? Obviously, they're going to go into it as the number one seed. It's going to obviously depend on later tonight which bracket they get put in. But I think that Isaiah Livers' injury and what kind of a team is Gonzaga? Are they a team that they lose on the second round? Do they make a huge run? Do they make it to the Final Four? I don't know. I've only watched a couple of their games, to be honest. But the couple of games that I watched were blowouts, so I didn't even watch all of them. Didn't even watch all the, from start to finish. So it's like, well, this isn't really fun to watch. Isn't even fun to watch. But like I said, is it a result of a weak conference? I think yes. Do I think that they're a good team? Yes, I do. Because even in a weak conference, everyone has mental days where they kind of check out, injuries, things like that, where they could have dropped a couple games had things been a little bit different, but they weren't different. And they took care of business. They played the teams that they were put in front of. That's all you can do as any team. Any team. Whether it's football and someone's phone's ringing, so hopefully they're getting their holla back. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, I mean, you can only play the competition that's put in front of you. And when they did, I mean, they had. I saw a stat last night. They have, I don't know how many 20 plus point victories. So it's not like they're just squeaking by the seat of their pants when it comes to these games, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, they are beating the snot out of their conference. Beating the absolute snot out of their conference. There have been obviously closer games than 20 or 25 points, but not many. Not many. So I'm kind of excited to see where they get placed. I have a feeling that they're going to fuck my bracket up like they always do. I remember years ago when Wichita State was kind of in the same boat. They fucked my bracket up too. They did. They fucked my bracket up, and it seems like a team like this is every few years we get a team like this. And the vast majority of the time, it has been Gonzaga. It has been. And we can't really fault them. Like I said, they're playing the teams that they get put in front of. Play the teams that they get put in front of. So, let me hydrate here real quick. And I do apologize. I need to change the adjust the gain on this. You guys aren't hearing me breathe because my allergies are killing me the last few weeks. But here's some teams, ladies and gentlemen. The Turbo's top teams that I think you better watch out for. You would better watch out for. And like I already mentioned, Oklahoma State. That's kind of the one they're kind of the team that are gaining the most headlines. I already mentioned St. Bonaventure. They're another team that are gaining a lot of headlines. And that's people calling me for bracket advice. Sorry, I don't answer my phone live when I'm live, so give me a holler back later. Like I said, drop a couple, at least one more zero on the bracket challenge, and I'll help you out any way that I can. Just kidding, but not really. If you really want to, go ahead. But there's a team that I think, let me see here, that is not garnering nearly enough, because the way it is sitting right now at 1:32 Eastern on Sunday, and yes, if you haven't changed your clocks, we did spring forward. But they have Gonzaga, Baylor, Illinois, and Michigan as the top 4 seeds. The 2 seeds are Alabama, Ohio State, Iowa, and Texas. And just to kind of drive home the point, look how many Big Ten teams there are in the top 8. Look how many teams are in the top 8. And sitting at 3 seed, Oklahoma State. I think before this tournament run, they probably were an 8 or 9 seed at best. They're up to number 3. And West Virginia is another team that really, really confuses me because Coach Huggins over there, legend, is going to walk into the College Basketball Hall of Fame. Legend. He always has his teams there being competitive, being good, yet they drop games when they shouldn't. They just drop games when they shouldn't, and I don't understand it. And you would think that maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe a year-to-year thing, but it's not. It's not. It's every year. So I just can't give West Virginia that high of a nod in my bracket. Yes, they're going to make it out of the first 2 rounds, but going forward, I really can't put a stamp of approval on them. After that is Kansas. Kansas was another one that because of the situation had to pull out. So we'll see how the bracketologist over there at ESPN kind of put them. Purdue is up next, and my sneaky team right now is Florida State. Them boys are rolling. And like 2Ks and I were talking about last week, their big men are awesome. They can shoot the lights out. So I'm a huge Florida State fan right now. I'm pretty much gonna pencil them in for at least a couple W's when it comes to the tournament. So if you're looking, kind of keep that Florida State team in mind. Excuse me. And there's just kind of looking over this list. Tennessee's another one that kind of intrigues me. I don't know why, but Tennessee intrigues me. Dog here on the microphone. Wisconsin is another one. Wisconsin's another team that obviously made it, got their bumps and bruises in the Big Ten, but they're a really good team. They're a really, really good team. And let's kind of cruise down a little more. I think that's about it. Rutgers comes in at number 36 as a 9 seed. Dogs are super stoked about it. Michigan State is a 10 seed. And if I'm not mistaken, usually the first round is a 10-7. There's usually always a 10-7 upset, so who knows? It is January, February, Izzo. And if you guys remember back even a few weeks ago, we were saying there's no way Michigan State even makes the tournament. Now they're a 10 seed. So yeah, I think that, once you get down here, you're getting into your Hartfords, Mount St. Mary's, Appalachian State. So And he has first 4 out: Utah State, Colorado State, Memphis, and Ole Miss. Ole Miss. Yeah, so I'm just looking at... I think that's about it. And like I said, you can take pretty much my picks to the bank because it's kind of what I do here. Not really, but I like to talk shit. So let's see here. There's a projected bracket. Is a projected bracket, and it looks like Michigan is going to be in the East, I believe. And Michigan tips off with, man, this is super small. Oh, there we go. Mount St. Mary's, App State. They have BYU, LSU, USC, North Texas, Kansas, UNCG, Oregon, Louisville, VCU, whoever wins that. The aforementioned West Virginia, Morehead State, UConn, Michigan State, Alabama, and Oral Roberts. Man, they probably got the best 2 seed, or one of the best 2 seeds out of that. So if this is the bracket that Michigan is in, I can see them making. Let's see, yeah, it would beat them. Yeah, I could definitely see them making it to the Elite Eight even without Livers. So yes, if this is the bracket as it stands, if it does come to fruition, and this is the bracket, then I think Michigan would make quite a little bit of a run. My boys Oklahoma State would be put in the Gonzaga bracket, so that's kind of a bummer. Like I said, they're a 3 seed going into this, with the number 2 seed being Iowa. So that's kind of a bummer. Like I said, I did want to see them make a longer run, but maybe they're the team that will dethrone and kind of put into perspective how good Gonzaga really is. Over with the Baylor side. Let's see, it will not go over that far, so I have to zoom out. Their number 2 seed would be Ohio State. Where's the 3 seed? 3 seed would be Houston. It looks to me just kind of at a glance that, well, the 2-10 in that side would be Maryland and Ohio State, kicking off with a Big Ten matchup there. Looks to me like Baylor might have the easiest route to this. Illinois side would have a Texas team as number 2. Which I don't think Texas is really that good. They did, like I said, they did win their title, but I don't think they're really that good. Georgetown, that's another one that Georgetown and the Fighting Patrick Ewings are making one hell of a run when it comes to this. So keep an eye on them to see if they can't keep the. They're coming in as a 12 seed. I get it. But they like I said, if this projection is true, this is Andy Kratz's 2021 bracket over on CBS, no, NCAA.com. I apologize. So just kind of looking over this, yeah, I think that my Baylor Bears have the kind of the easiest route when it comes to the brackets. I could be wrong, but just judging by this, I really don't see. Oh, maybe I'm wrong on this one because they have my Florida State team sitting at a 4 seed. So maybe I don't know. Yeah, this is. I think it might take that back. I think Illinois has the easiest. Would have the easiest bracket out of all of these. So, like I said, these are just projections, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, if you guys are finding any value or entertainment out of me just talking to myself, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment on the YouTube side. And if on the audio side, I guess we're talking about follows now because everyone thinks subscriptions cost money. But go ahead and give us a follow, because it does help out. And it is all appreciated because we want to get our content out to you guys. And I try to make the best content that I can, the most entertaining content that I can. So when we do get the likes, the subscribes, and everything else, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy. And if you are feeling very, very saucy, go to buyturboabeer.com. Buy me a beer. And like I said, everyone that buys us a beer or does anything like that will be featured on the show. And if you have any comments right now with the folks, it looks like there's 3 or 4 folks watching right now. Go ahead and introduce yourself. I'll feature you on the show. And if you do have a comment or question, we'll get it addressed. We'll get it addressed. So yeah, that's like I said, if had I known ahead of time that I would be doing this solo, I would be doing it live during the yes, YouTube TV. I'm still watching CBS, but probably would have done this live during the selection show, which is tonight on CBS. And I think that would be a whole lot of fun. Get some reactions, because there's going to be bubble teams. There's going to be teams that obviously, quote unquote, shouldn't make it. So who do you take out? Who do you put in? All that debate is going down tonight. I guarantee tonight, tomorrow, leading up to Thursday, which is going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. I'm going to be in chicken wing heaven. As you guys know, huge chicken wing fan, and I kind of like mine lightly breaded. I'll eat them regardless, no matter what form. I don't mind the boneless wings, but give me the bone-in wings. That's what I love. Give me all the flats. You guys can have the drummies. Give me all the flats. I'll tear through those like a monster. But I have some chicken wings in the freezer, and I've been, all right, well, do I just want to throw them in the air fryer? Do I want to bread them? How do I want to do them? So one of the things that Mrs. Turbo and I do is every Saturday and Sunday, I get up and let the dogs out so she can sleep in, and I turn on cooking shows. Well, one of the cooking shows that I was watching this morning read my mind, and they gave me one hell of a breaded. They just did it for fried chicken, but I'm going to do it for chicken wings. Going to try the recipe out, see how it works, and with basketball tips on Thursday, I have Thursday and Friday off of work. I've always taught, if you didn't join us at the beginning of the show, I've always wanted to take the first Thursday and Friday of March Madness off, so had the opportunity this year, and I said, you know what, fuck it. It's my bucket list. This is what I want to do. So I did it. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off, and what's weird because I'm in sales, so when you're taking time off, that's taking time away from your sales. And it's kind of a tightrope when it comes to me. I know it says jack shit about what's going on with the NCAA basketball, but I just want to take time and share everything with you because I am an open book. And it's one other way you guys get to know me. So who cares? Who cares? Let's chat about it. So I very rarely take more than one day off at a time. So Thursday and Friday, kind of a big deal. And I talked about at the opening of the show, I think this is going to be an amazing tournament because I don't even think, we talked about Andy Kratz's bracket here. He doesn't know shit. The bracketologists over at ESPN, they can talk all they want. They can set the brackets up all they want. When it comes down to what comes out on the floor and just to kind of see what happens, I think that this is going to be a wild tournament. And I can't wait. Not only because A, I get 2 days off in a row. B, gonna watch. I have everything in my brain set up to where exactly what I want to do. TV, MacBook, iPad. 4 games all at once. Balls deep and deep fried chicken wings. I can't wait. And what I have a feeling is that if these wings are good, I'm going to have to run to the store and get some more so I can do the exact same thing on Friday. Exact same thing. Oh, and don't you worry, because I have some pre-made sauces and think I might make a couple homemade sauces. Yes, I am super, super, super excited. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. And I posed the question of the week: how are you going to consume your NCAA tournament? How are you going to do it? Are you going to sneak it in while you're at the office, which is what I've done for the past 6 years? Shh, don't tell my boss. But yeah, definitely had one game up on one of my monitors, one game, and then the email and everything else up on one. Are you just going to wait till you get home, or are you going to listen to it on the radio? What are your plans? What are your plans? And are you, if you are, because I know there's a lot of folks that do take off Thursday and Friday. What's on your menu? What's on your lunch menu? What are you going to be diving deep in? Are you going to order some pizza in? Are you going to order some wings from a wing place? What are your plans? What are your plans? So I'm curious to see, and we might just go live during the games. You never know. Never know. Never know. And like I said, if you guys are wondering what we're going to talk about next week, I think you're insane if you really haven't put two and two together, because it's going to be right in the middle of March Madness. We're going to have some upsets. We're going to have some close games. We're going to have some players jump out at you, even though we've highlighted quite a few of them here today. There's going to be a handful of them that are going to take over the first couple rounds, because why? It always happens. It always happens. The dogs are excited about it too. They can't wait. They can't wait. Morgan and Layla are super excited. They're going to be chilling with me, trying to eat my chicken wings on Thursday and Friday. So let's go into the wrap up here, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been rambling on for probably 15 minutes. But yeah, so you guys obviously know what's going to happen next week's show. Hopefully 2Ks is back in the studio. Big shout out to Mrs. 2Ks. Chelsea, I hope you're feeling better soon. We all know those shots can take down a whole lot of people, and hopefully it doesn't last long. So our thoughts are with you. So get better soon. So yeah, you can always put it in your book right now. Book it. Put it in your phone. Set, obviously if you're subscribed and you hit the bell and you put all notifications, you'll know when we go live. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. But yes, next Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back. I'm almost positive 2Ks will be back. And yes, we'll be balls deep in the NCAA tournament. And this is the start, ladies and gentlemen. This is the start of good things to come. Good things to come. We've got March Madness. Checks a box. You know what the next checks box is? The Masters. Jim Nance. Down in Augusta. Green jackets blazing. I have no idea what he says, but something about flowers and a drive, and it's going to be amazing. Then after that, baseball starts. You know what that means. Spring's here. Summer's on its way. So yes, we are checking box 1 of the let's get the snow out of here. Let's get the warm weather in. Signed up for softball. I'm going in as a free agent this year, so we'll see if any team picks up your boy Turb. And we got that. We're gonna be doing some golfing vlogs, because why not? We got some golf tournaments or fundraisers already on the books. We've got the Wildcat Open. We've got the Modern Invitational. So as those draw forward, I'm sure we'll get more pub. Get you links to sign up. Morgan and Layla want to sign up. I know I've talked to them about it, and I told them to be patient because sign-ups aren't available yet. But we'll get into that. And if you guys have any other golf tournaments that you would like us to pub on the show, email us at turboand2ks@gmail.com, or jump in the group, which I do have the link right here. It is facebook.com/group/2K crew. I tell you what, I'm in a lot of sports groups, and this is our community in there is by far fucking amazing. Probably one of the most, there's less than 300 people in there, but probably one of the close-knit groups I've ever seen. And they break news before ESPN even does. So I don't know how they do it. They're magical. But yes, give you two one more time before we head out of here. It is a lot of fun. I post some random bullshit in there. So let's keep it up. Let's keep the community growing because I love chatting with you guys. And I can't believe I've been on here for an hour. So usually my solo ones go for only about a half an hour. So I must have been doing something good. And we did talk about chicken wings. And we talked about March Madness. We talked about Big Ten. We talked about Big 12. So let me know in the comments, who's your pick to win it all? You guys know I've got Baylor. But let me know who you guys have and why. I know we've had 2 questions of the day, but couldn't help myself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will hop out of here. It's been an amazing Sunday chatting with you folks. I will see you again next Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. 2Ks will be back in the saddle with me. And as always, Jim Rome, we're coming for you.